Hi everyone, welcome to my talk, Elevating the Voices of Forest Peoples, the Search for Environmental Justice in Southeast Asia. For this talk, I want everyone in the room not to think of forests as this pristine natural ecosystem that they usually think about. Rather, I want everyone to imagine forests as highly politicized and produced spaces where the voices of the most vulnerable people in society are often regarded as lesser to that of more powerful government voices and global forces. I worked in Cambodia the years 2013 to 2014 on a project raising the awareness of the Cambodian people to the role of forests in fighting climate change. The project required working with people from all different sectors. Meetings were held with people from government departments, civil society organizations, and the private sector. Training was given to government staff on the role of forests in climate change, and likewise, the government staff went on to train local communities of the role of forests in fighting climate change. The project mobilized a huge amount of people and resources. I'm not saying that educating people on climate change was the issue. However, saving the forests in the tropics for climate change was the dominant voice in forest protection at the time. Within all this, the voices of forest peoples who consider the forest their cultural and traditional homeland was missing. Instead of considering forest peoples as an equal project partner, the project was imparting knowledge rather than exchanging knowledge. This failure to engage with forest people's voices as equal to national political economic systems is a system embedded within history. I'll use Cambodia again as an example, but these examples can be found throughout the world. In pre-colonial Cambodia, traditional forest management systems consisted of shifting cultivation, putting areas aside for spirit forest areas, resin tapping, and timber harvesting. Under French colonial rule, the French tried to impose a forest management system on the Cambodian people that saw traditional forest management practices as primitive compared to French systems. After the end of colonialism, the dominant pattern became one of central government control over forest resources and reduced rights of forest peoples. Some progress has been made since with the establishment of community forestry areas where some rights of forest peoples over their lands are recognised. However, these rights are often not equal to that of private companies. For example, in Cambodia, private companies can have a 99-year tenure over their land, when Cambodian local communities can only have a 15-year tenure over their land. Additionally, it's significantly harder for forest communities to gain tenure over their land. This process can take up to a couple of weeks for private industries, but it can take up to 4 years for local communities. My research will examine how forest people's voices are included in a recent European Union project that aims to reduce illegal logging in the forest sector throughout the world. Now, when we say illegal logging, this does not necessarily mean large-scale deforestation. Illegal logging is defined as the practices inconsistent with national and subnational law. These could be acts such as logging for rare species in a protected area, a company extracting timber outside their forest area, or even people obtaining permits through bribes. It's powerful people and governments that are often involved in illegal logging, but it's the local people who are blamed by their national governments. The EU programme is working within 3 continents to reduce illegal logging through forest sector reform. My research will focus on the Greater Mekong sub-region in Southeast Asia. This is Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. When forest reforms take place, they have the potential to extend the rights of forest people over their land, but also to reduce the rights of people over their land. To try to ensure that forest voices are addressed when reforming forest policy, the EU has invited civil society organisations to represent the voices of forest peoples in negotiations alongside the government and private sectors. My research will examine if the inclusion of civil society organisations is opening up a space for reform that takes into account the voices of forest peoples. We cannot expect embedded government structures to change instantly. Ensuring that the voices of forest people are heard and respected in all political processes is one of the best ways of ensuring both environmental and social justice. To illustrate this point, I will finish with the case of the Bunong people of Mondulkiri province in northeast Cambodia. The Bunong believe that nature is populated by spirits, both good and bad, and that these spirits must be obeyed and appeased. The Bunong people believe that everyone owns the forest. They lay no claim of individual land tenure, but feel collectively connected to the forest. It's powerful people like government officials that will always try to steer the outcome of forest reform in their favour. However, the outcome of the EU programme is not yet determined. My research will help translate local voices so they can be heard by the European Union and national governments within the Greater Mekong region. And thank you everyone up here.